This is my first webinar, which is kind of nerve-wracking, but let's see how it goes. Yeah, so I'll wait a couple more minutes and we'll get started. Okay, so basically, I had the idea to launch this webinar series to sort of make the kitchen more simple. I work full-time as well as being a health coach, so I know how difficult it is to come home from work and have your kids and want to spend time with them and not want to focus on a bunch of dinner stuff. So I think the place where this starts is in your fridge, and there I find are simple ways to keep it sort of neat and keep things in order so that you reach for the good stuff and keep your diet and health top of mind when you're hungry. A little background, I had my son 9 months ago. And throughout the journey, I was really healthy, and then he was born, and I had to sort of recalibrate my lifestyle because of, time crunch, working and having him and wanting to spend every ounce of time, of my extra time with him. So coming up with some sort of system for, kitchen revamp and meal prep, and ways to really make that part of my life simple while still being really healthy, which is obviously a big concern of mine. So I'd like to share that with you. I liken it to cleaning out your closet. When you do a closet clean out, I think you do it, you get rid of stuff that doesn't fit, and you get rid of stuff that, it doesn't look good anymore, or things that you want to replace with new items. And I think your fridge is kind of the same. You want to keep stuff that you love and serves you right front and center, and get rid of the junk that just isn't good anymore. My day job is in fashion, so a lot of what I do with health, I draw a comparison to the fashion industry, kind of. I mean, you want to be healthy, you want to look good in your clothes, you want to wear that pair of jeans, you want to have a great closet, and I kind of feel the same way about your kitchen and your refrigerator and that kind of thing. So that's where I'm coming from, and I hope that you can see the comparison as well. So let's get started. This is maybe kind of weird because my fridge is here and I'm in the kitchen, and hopefully I can get this sorted better, but eventually. But I'm going to go ahead and open it up. And, okay, so also let me say that I personally eat a plant-based diet. So I have a lot of, alternative proteins and things like that. But my husband is still an omnivore, so we do still have some milk products in the house and deli meat and things that he eats. But I primarily try to keep it plant-based, no chemicals, and that kind of thing. So, okay. It's very sparse right now because we just moved, and it's also very clean because we just moved. I want to say that in no way is this the way it will be in 6 months. But it is really clean right now, and I'm trying to keep things simple these days. So I have the basics. I work from home on Wednesdays, which usually means I go shopping midweek. And restock the things and sort of do a second meal prep. So this is what you're seeing now. I wanted to be real with you. This is my fridge in general on a Tuesday night before I do a second round of meal prep. So here we go. Okay. So on the very top, I keep protein. I typically make salad for myself for lunch every day, and so on Sundays I'll roast some tofu and tempeh, depending on my mood, different spices, things like that, and I keep it to add to a salad each night to bring to work the next day. And in the back you can see there's some extra tofu for dinners if I'm preparing a stir fry or something like that. But that's where I keep my protein. And right underneath that is Mike's drawer. So that one that has deli meat, his bread, and things like that. I keep the bread out of sight because I try very hard not to eat a lot of processed white carbs, which he loves. So that goes in there for him, for his sandwiches, and that kind of stays out of my sight. On the top right, there is a bunch of coconut milk in cans, which I use to prepare soups, Thai soups. I make pudding with it a lot if I'm craving something a little bit sweet. And the reason to keep it in the fridge is because the cream gets condensed on the top and it makes really great whipped cream. And most pudding recipes and dessert recipes that call for canned coconut milk prefer that it's cold, so I keep it in here for that. This is regular yogurt, which my husband eats as well. So that's that. On the next shelf, the middle shelf, which is like the optimum viewpoint shelf, I keep all of our greens. So you want to keep greens, veggies, things that you want to eat most often in your line of sight. So when I look in the fridge and I'm hungry, chances are I'll grab something, make a quick salad if it's lunchtime. I remember to put the greens in my smoothie because they're right there. And I buy baby greens because they're easy to throw into a smoothie. And then now that it's summer in New York, we have local CSAs, which are great because they send different veggies that you might not think of in the box because they're in season. And you get them, and then you can sort of do cool things and make recipes you wouldn't technically or think of to go with. So that's what you see in these bags. This week, there must be lettuce season. So we've gotten a variety of lettuces, which is great. I add them to salads. We got some beautiful arugula, which is great in pasta or a salad. And then we got a bunch of green onions, baby garlic is in season, and I also keep some herbs in here, cilantro, and we got some thyme and things like that. So I keep them wrapped in a towel to keep the moisture out, and they stay fresh for about a week. And I keep those in the front too so that I use them. And down here is the arugula I mentioned, also wrapped in a towel to keep it dry. And here we have some broccoli, which I also got in CSA, so that'll probably go in a stir fry or a salad. So that's sort of the middle shelf situation. Top of mind right here, all the greens, all the veggies. I think it's so important to keep them in sight so that you eat them. Because of space constraints, beverages, not mine, are also on this shelf. So for guests or what have you, it's there. I think that beer is from Christmas, to be honest. I hate beer and rather mix a cocktail. So these are clearly not mine. Okay, so then we move down. This refrigerator has this sort of weird bottom shelf where I keep prepped stuff like roasted veggies, fruit that doesn't fit in the drawer, that kind of thing. On this shelf also is a lineup of overnight oats to take in the morning. You can see I'm a big fan. Hold on. There we go. Of that. There's some hummus down here, which I prepped on Sunday, and some roasted squash, which Morrison loves and eats often. But we also, I make it, I roast it, keep it in pieces. We put it with dinner a lot of the time, but also can be made for him. And then some lone strawberries that don't fit in the fruit drawer. Which leads me to the produce drawers. So I try to keep as much junk out of the fridge as possible. And since we did just move, I really cleaned out and threw out a lot of stuff before doing this. So right now I don't have any really. But the drawers on the bottom are a great place to put stuff that you don't really want to eat on a daily basis. Everybody craves chocolate once in a while. Everybody, craves, I don't know, whatever it is. And if you keep it in a drawer away from your view, chances are you won't reach for it unless you really want it. So I would say if you have a tendency to want certain snacks or want, sugar, and you keep it in the house, or your significant other keeps it in the house and you may not make that choice, if it wasn't there, I would keep it in the drawer and out of your sight. But for now, since we're pretty clean around here at this point, I have fruit and veggies stored in the drawers. So there's a full drawer of berries and peaches. I keep dates in there to sweeten almond milk when I make it, and lots of ginger to juice. And then in this drawer, the other drawer, there are veggies. Avocados, of course, cucumber, some radishes that came in my DSA box, and onions, which are always good to have in the house. And so that's about it for this main part. And then for me, keeping all the condiments and stuff in the door is kind of how we do it. So the bottom bottom shelf is hot sauce and soy sauce and all that kind of stuff, seltzer water, aloe, things that need space. And then we have, vegan mayonnaise and mustard. And Mike, of course, still eats butter and half and half, so that's there for him. And then we have Morrison's shelf with his milk and his coconut yogurt. And then some supplements that need to be refrigerated. So the door is sort of like all the little stuff that you don't want getting caught in the back and forgetting about and that kind of thing. So that's a tour of my refrigerator, as embarrassing as it is. I think it's important to realize that, health coach is human. I try to keep it clean. It is very clean at this point. But, there are ways and tactics to sort of make yourself feel like you're making healthy choices. When you have things prepped for meals and ready to eat, it makes it easier to grab those things instead of grabbing a snack that doesn't serve you. And where it is in the fridge, I think makes a big difference. If you have a bunch of crap in your face all the time, you'll eat the crap. And we all know it's June and we want to be confident, even if you just had a baby or, you're not back to the weight you would love to be at, or, you haven't made the best choices in the past few months and you're feeling badly. This is a really easy place to start, by cleaning out all the crap, getting healthy food in your fridge, having it right front and center, and all those brilliant colors. It's summer, the produce is great, the lettuces are great. Make yourself a big fresh salad, and put it right in the front. Wash the greens, make the dressing, or buy, a healthy dressing, and have it there for when you're hungry. It makes a huge, huge difference. And these are all things that I've implemented in my own life in the past few years that have made a huge change for me. So with that, we have a couple more minutes, and I guess I'll just wrap up in saying that this is a 3-part webinar series. So the next part, I'm going to show you how I go about meal prepping for the week, or the half a week, because typically, like I said, a double meal prep Wednesday and Sunday. So we can cover that. What protein powder do you use? From Danielle. Well, which is a Beachbody product. It's a superfood powder. But if you're looking for just protein powders, I use, hold on, let me get it and I'll show you. It's called Epic Plant-Based Protein. I order it on Amazon. And it comes, I think, this is vanilla. There's chocolate and green, I think. It's pretty good. I usually bake with it. Yeah. And I don't keep that in the fridge. I won't even go into my nuts and powder cabinet because it's a disaster at this point. Because this kitchen is much smaller than my last kitchen. So some revamping needs to be done there. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. Join me next Tuesday for a little meal prep situation. I'll show you how I prep my meals for lunch and dinner for the week. And if you have any questions, you know where to find me. This is being recorded, so you'll be able to access it if you need to re-listen. So I hope that everyone has a great night. Give kisses to your babies for me, or your dog babies. or whomever. And I'll see you next Tuesday.